Damn, Virgo. I think you guys are just trying to stay optimistic right now. I think you guys obviously feel a connection with this person, which is great. And you're moving on from the past to hope for a better future, to take advantage of new opportunities that come up, which is great. The Two of Cups obviously is the person that you're dealing with. You and the person that you're dealing with that feel the same exact way. This can come up as a platonic energy, but because we're doing a romance life reading, this has this is definitely probably more than just platonic. So there's a lot of things that you have in common, a lot of things you feel the same about, and you guys can move in a really good direction with that. So what's how we get that? The Ace of Wands, a lot of passion, excitement, lust is coming back into the relationship. I feel like for some of you guys that are in an established relationship already, you're kind of falling back in love with this person again. Because you're able to leave behind the past and strive for more of a future, a better future, a brighter future, a future where, things, possibilities can, are endless. That's why I feel like with Six of Swords all the ways is that there's endless possibilities of greatness. And leaving behind the past is one hard thing to do, but you're doing it. Okay? And it's definitely not an easy process, but it's a rewarding process. It's definitely one of the most rewarding processes that I personally believe comes out of the tarot here. So moving on, like creating a new atmosphere, looking for new horizons, right? Finding a new space to grow and manifest what you want. Now, in the past, things were definitely really confusing. A lot of decisions as to what you want. I think there was a lot of things around you that kind of helped to formulate this decision. But like most importantly, there's a lot of cool, interesting things about maybe a particular relationship or how you may want a relationship to go. But you never really was quite sure which one of those things had to be it. But I kind of feel like you took all of these cups, took all of these options, took all of these ideas and made it into one thing. Made it all, like, maybe you decided that you wanted all of it. And you are now, your cup is full and ready to go. Ready to start a new love journey. This is where I was definitely seeing maybe you guys are falling back in love with the person that you're currently with, that you currently had things with or relations with beforehand, but things were just not very clear. Things just kind of felt like things were just like a fantasy or too good to be true. Or some things may have just been like just outright just bizarre. And maybe put you in a position really to think about what you really wanted in our love life so that way you could have it. So the Ace of Cups, right? I think you picked the cup, you figured out which one you wanted out of this group, or you made all of those options of like a thing of its own, right? You know exactly what you want, you know what you're desiring, you're ready to go after what you want. And this person is so passionate, so sexy, guys. The King of Wands, absolutely scrumptious. But you're not there for their body, but you're allured, you're attracted to them, and you have such a strong, feeling for them. Like there's something with the Ace of Cups. This is new love. If they haven't already approached you and have expressed how they felt, then you definitely are feeling something towards them regarding that already. But this energy that you have here is a strong, potent energy, very romantic, very exciting. The only thing I have kind of concerned going on right now is this 10 of Wands that's in your future. Being overburdened with responsibilities and tasks, feeling like you've got too much going on, too much on your plate. Let's see why the 10 of Wands is coming up in your future like this. Because of the 3 of Pentacles, planning for the future. Why is planning for the future too much? Because because of the 2 of Wands, action needs to be taken. Maybe not sure where to go. So already to me, with the 10 of Wands, what the 10 of Wands is saying, it kind of gives me this vibe that for some of you guys out here, you already have a lot going on in your life. And just like you want to expand, you want to move forward in a relationship. But of course, right, with that 10 of Wands and the Justice card that came out earlier, I kind of feel like this is really where the whole balancing your life out situation comes in to create space to have what you want. Because I feel like you see great value in planning with the future with this person. That's why you're planning it. And there's obviously action that needs to be taken to obviously make this idea a reality. I think it's just that with the 10 of Wands, you kind of feel like you're swamped and you're kind of doing this on your own. But you have somebody around you that can help. Like, for instance, I think the only action that may need to be taken is actually trusting the person with taking on responsibility, so that way you don't have so much. Because the Three of Pentacles, yeah, it's playing the future with the person. So I may be looking at their strengths and their weaknesses to see how they can help you move forward with this. Because this is something that is requiring both parties to participate. And I kind of feel like maybe you guys, like, it's about learning to include someone in your hard work instead of trying to do all of it by yourself, maybe. Which definitely is a learning curve all in itself. So why do we have the Knight of Swords in your best path to follow? That's the Knight of Swords is usually someone that comes in charging in with an idea or perspective and not necessarily interested to hear what anybody else has to say. He's really quick to move with something. He's really quick to start arguments. And the Knight of Swords usually means, like, you know, to go after something, to fight for it, right? If you truly believe in it and it's something that you stand by, go for it, right? And the Knight of Swords is charging towards the page, the Ten of Wands, right? Charging right through it. I want to know why we're having that card. It could be that, you know, it could be that the situation is just telling you to go full steam ahead. You already have your heart connected. You already, like, have, you know, this is like something that you may want. Knight of Swords may be saying, hey, going for it is the only way things can actually happen and grow. The Ten of Wands too, as a little quick thing to say. Ten of Wands is a perceived future. So typically how I see this is like, not only like, yeah, you may be feeling like, oh, this is love at first sight. This is an opportunity for love to grow. For those of you that are single here, this is a brand new person and you're feeling really drawn to this person. There's potential for great happiness and you just have to take the risk and go for it. But I feel like maybe the perceived future is that things are going to just get overwhelming and you're not quite sure of how to move forward with this person that you may have had ideas to move forward with, you know? Like, you don't really, like, you're planning to commit to this person or to move forward, but that requires commitment, but you're not really sure either how that's going to go, what's going to happen. Don't let the future be the thing that stops you from pursuing something that has endless possibilities. There's no way to know if you're going to get stuck here with the Ten of Wands or be overburdened with responsibilities and commitments. It may be that, you know, you see that it's going in that direction because, you know, there's a lot of a lot of stuff that you're dealing with, but this person kind of is the only person that kind of makes sense in this whole situation. I don't know. Let's see. Why is the Knight of Wands Virgo's best path to follow? And that's communication. That's Mercury. So I kind of feel like, I mean, even though it's Gemini's ruler is Mercury. So I kind of get this feeling that for a lot of you guys, it's about communicating your truth with this person. You know, just kind of like being honest with yourself, being honest with them. Just go ahead and say it. Kind of rip the bandage off real quick. But yeah, kind of get the feeling just rip the bandage off. Just be honest with yourself about what you feel about this person and commit to it, to be honest. Because I think you're already standing your ground and defending the thing that you're already committed to with the Hierophant. Like, this person is already yours. You're already, like, really kind of solid to get into it. Or the dilemma is committing to something without really having any know about whether or not this person is going to commit to you or not. The Knight of Swords is very quick moving and very fast. And I feel like if you already feel that way, the situation doesn't need to move any slower. It's just like, it's kind of keeping to the authenticity and the genuineness of your emotions by just going however the speed is of your heart, right? If you feel drawn to this person, you want to move forward with this person, you want to see how this goes, you can exclusively date them. It doesn't mean that you're moving too fast. And the Seven of Wands could be like, you know, stand your ground to defend. I feel like, you know, when it comes to the Knight of Swords, be true about what your truth is, right? Be honest, be open. But also be, you know, of course, I wouldn't necessarily say to wait till the person commits to you, but more of like with the Hierophant and the Seven of Wands, there may be something here that you've already committed to in your heart. But you know, as far as the growth of the relationship, commit to what you're willing to commit to and let the other person, you know, and then just kind of discover the person along the way. Do it without condition. Do it where there is a lot, you know, it's just based off of you and being true to yourself and being honest with you, right? And not necessarily hold back until you know that the person's committed, because that doesn't really bring the relationship anywhere. When you commit, things can move forward because you are already like 2 feet in, right? and you can do the thorough research and the understanding of the person because you are theirs and they are yours, right? As long as you have that in there, they don't have to like justify it. I feel like the situation is saying it doesn't necessarily need to be justified by the other person. This person's already yours. The fact that the King of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Ace of Cups come up together, I feel like this person's already yours. This is someone that's already a desire, and they're already there. They're already existing. This person has a lot of energy around them. That they have a lot of vibrancy. You're very attracted to them already. So you may as well just go for it. So the King of Wands, very attractive, very energetic, that loves to do stuff. This person is like very active. I don't know if they own their own business or they go to the gym all the time, but this person is super active all the time. But this person is also someone that is very spontaneous, very romantic, very creative, and they're very confident in their individuality. They're very confident in themselves. They're very quirky, but they have that's a beautiful quirk. And whoever they have their eyes on that they love and they feel deep cherished, feelings for, they usually end up being in that person's spotlight, right? So they never outshine another person. They always put the spotlight on the people that they have great pride in. It's a card of Leo. So, like, this person is very energetic, very vibrant, very high in their energy. Like, this person is very attractive. If it's not looks, then it's their energy, it's their vibe, it's the way they carry themselves, it's their personality, it's their humor, something that brings their attention to you and it makes you kind of like perk up. It really brings up your energy as well. This person's very, very, very nice. But I feel like, too, this is someone that you may have already met, someone that you've already known for a while, someone that you may have had off and ons with. But this could also indicate this is someone that you may have feelings for, that that you may want to express love to. This can also indicate this is somebody that reminds you of a past lover, or this is someone that's already romantic. The fact that this is in your hopes and fears maybe that you hope that this person remains romantic, and this person remains consistent with their emotions, how they feel. Like, I feel like their passions trying to kind of change maybe a lot sometimes. But I kind of feel like, too, the romance is there, and that's something that you love and that you like. And because your 7th house is Pisces. So the fact that you have Pisces as, the Knight of Cups as your hopes and fears, I feel like you hope that the relationship continues to stay dreamy, stay romantic, stay, keeping you on your toes and like always making you feel like butterflies in your stomach, like feeling like you're falling in love over and over again. Every day, like fresh out of the box. And I kind of feel like that's what you guys want the consistency of. You want that to be consistent. So with your outcome coming up like this, I don't mind this. The 2 of Wands is very similar to what you have in your future. And I always kind of usually read the outcome in the future is very similar. But the outcome usually means if the energy remains the same, where you kind of feel like what do you do? What do you do now? How do you move forward? How do you expand in this relationship? What action needs to be taken, right? What choice have you made to move forward in your relationship with this person, or to advance in some feelings that you have? And the only person that can answer that is you, right? What decision that you're kind of left with the decision, right? You have a beautiful relationship that can blossom and go so far. What are you willing to do? Or like, what do you want to do about it? What is your first step? But do it, coming from a pure, genuine place of pure wanting to action wanting to be put into it. Not really what you can see or what you can get out of it, not necessarily results, but what is truly what you want to feel out of it. Like, what do you want to express in this moment? Being in the moment with the person. Very big, fam. Very big. Let's go ahead and see what you guys have for your wisdom of the Oracle cards. Okay, a change in the wind. So no action needs to be taken at this moment. So that means that there's a lot of stuff that's happening, a lot of things that are adjusting, and right now it's just being in the moment with the situation. Nothing wrong with planning ahead or anything like that, but you don't want to take action on what's being planned on right now because there's just too much going on. It's probably what you guys were seeing here with the 10 of Wands. There's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of things are changing, and there's nothing wrong with planning for, taking action, but taking those steps towards that plan may not be the ideal right now, okay? And this is surrender your ego. Ooh. Cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart, man. Genuine feelings, like I was saying, coming from the heart, being in the moment. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like pulling an extra card for that. Why is the surrender your ego card coming out for Virgo? Because the ego is also the doer. Right? That's the card of doing things, taking action on something, going for what you want. Right? That's the ego. That's usually something that takes action. But and it's the body. It's the mind portion of it. Kind of not really, but it's like the other part of ourselves versus the spiritual. It's the Ten of Pentacles. That's why the card's coming up. Because there's potential for great happiness in this relationship, great abundance in this love life. And the only way for you to, not the only way, but the best way to get this is by not necessarily putting yourself aside, but pretty much putting yourself aside, like letting go of the games that come with the ego, right? Being coming from a genuine place of love and desire, right? Not necessarily one of calculated results, not trying to create something out of something by doing something with a purposeful intent, like doing it because you want to, not because of something you can get out of it. And when you come from a place, that heart space, you generate a more pure and more abundant relationship versus trying to come at a situation from a more contrived avenue. I'm not trying to say y'all contrived, but definitely see the situation as an opportunity to just be you and do what you want to do, not because you want something out of it, but because you are getting something out of it by doing it in the moment, right? Because you want to do it, not because of what can happen later. You know what I'm saying?